All right, hello again to all of our listeners and watchers. We are this week the show and podcast. Tonight, we are going to deep dive into a topic that both me and Cord know extremely well. But first,
My name is Cord.
and my name is Zach,
And I'm eating a banana.
and you're eating a banana. Okay. Well, guys, this week, if you were running around on YouTube and stuff like that, you might have seen a guy, like an anime character, popping up in some of your feeds. And as you might know by now, that is One Piece. And we decided this week we would go ahead and kind of dive into, hey, what is One Piece? And should you watch it? What are the details on it? And yeah, we're
And
dedicating.
why should you watch
Yeah.
it? That's the point.
We're
Why
dedicating
should you
we're
watch
dedicating this episode to One Piece, and I think it's fantastic. I love the show. Personally, it is my favorite anime show right now, bar none.
Oh,
No
it
show
is? I
no
didn't know
show
that.
is any better. Yeah, I am One Piece is my number one show right now. It is literally I will watch every episode. I won't miss an episode. I literally it's awesome to be able to follow along with it. It's just such a good show. Now, before we get too far into that, I guess we should probably go ahead and ask the basic questions. So, what is One Piece?
Well, One Piece is a show. It's a Japanese show and manga that's been going on for a long time. It's been going on for 25 years.
Yeah, it's something. Well, how many episodes total do we have right now? Like
Right now-
approximately 1,013 episodes.
I think it's 1,013 episodes, and it's a chapter 1,046. The scans probably are dropping for today. Today is Thursday, right?
Yep, today is Thursday.
Oh,
No, wait,
today's
Friday. I take it back. Yeah,
so
no, you're right. It is Friday.
1,046 is definitely out.
Right. So, now you should also know that One Piece is a anime TV show. It's based on a manga. The manga, or Japanese comic book, first came out in 1997, and then the show came out in 1999. Now, I can't say originally that I watched it way back then, but it was a little bit later that I got out and I started watching it all the way from the first episode, and I have
Oh, that's
never
right.
regretted that decision. I felt it's a little slow on some of the earlier parts,
At
but
first, huh?
oh my gosh, the show is so good. It is literally, it's just incredible. The guy who created it, you can say his name better than I can.
Eiichiro Oda.
Eiichiro Oda. He basically, he's the one who created this. He's absolutely the guy behind it. He's kind of old right now, but he has created an amazing TV show.
Otherwise known as Goda.
Goda?
Yeah.
Oh, is that what they're calling
we
him
call
online?
Yeah, we call him Goda.
Goda? So if you're in the know, you apparently call him Goda.
Yeah.
All right, so that brings me to the next question. I want to go ahead and answer. So when did you, Court, start watching it?
I started watching it I think about 6.5 or 7 years ago. It was, goodness, because I started watching it when I caught up to One Piece. When I started watching it, it was in Punk Hazard, and by the time I caught up to One Piece, it was in Dressrosa.
It goes without saying.
So the 600s.
Yeah, that show seemed to about halfway through the series just really, really accelerate and just take on a whole new kind of incredibleness. Because it was about Punk Hazard or something like that. If you follow the show and if you follow from one section to the next of the show,
And you can't
they
talk
have,
about One Piece without spoiling it. So yes, go ahead. We can talk about some of the arcs he's
let's
mentioning.
say, yeah,
here.
we'll try not to. I'll be honest. I'm about 10 episodes behind right now because I like to binge watch stuff in a full sequence. So I am a little bit behind, and I don't want to touch too much about what's going on now. But the series, as it originates, I felt was kind of slow toward the beginning, but it seemed as if you stuck it out for the first couple hundred episodes, you'd eventually find out that it got incredible.
And see, caught up. He was further behind than me and caught up even more recently. And it's good stuff. It's still good. Even after 25 years.
Right?
I
Yeah,
remember.
no, it is. It really is. And listen, guys, when you master something over the course of 8 years or 10 years or something like that, you can get really good at something. They have been doing this for north of 20 years, and you can tell that they have got some really crazy, innovative juices and stuff flowing into. I mean, man, I honestly, 20 years of doing anything like that, and you'd be a master at it. And that's what you're watching when you're watching this series is just how incredibly awesome they've stuck with it. It's gotten incredible, and yeah, you're watching when you watch the series, you're just there's a lot to take in, especially if you watched the whole thing, and especially if you've gotten really into the makeup and watching every episode and stuff like that. It's just incredible how they've been able to tie it together.
And it's a long series. It's so long that Zach here has watched over 1,000 episodes, and he still hasn't caught up yet.
Now, yeah, where I'm at right now is it is
That's crazy.
One Piece has approximately 1,000, not the manga, but the TV show has 1,013 episodes.
And that's with a delay, and there was even a delay in 2021 as well.
Yeah, it's 1,000, and it's incredible. It really is. But I guess I should cover a few things before I explain why. Okay, so it's sort of a kids show, but for people who are listening to this and people who are watching this, it does get kind of graphical. So I don't know if I can say this is a kids show, even though it airs on Japanese television once a week, and even though they kind of consider it a kids show, I want to say that there's some violence and stuff inside of that show that you might like. This would probably be better if it were regulated. Like, I wouldn't let my kids watch it until they were probably a teen. I think this would be better ingested as like a teen.
Yeah, if you're careful about what your kids watch, yeah, I could say that too. And One Piece is so it's so good that you could get into it as a kid, and 25 years later, there's people that have been watching it that didn't catch up like us. There's people that have been watching it since they were kids, and 25 years later are still into it.
I definitely
So it's for
admit
adults too.
Oh, and I admit I'm not the perfect fan. I finally bit the bullet, and it was probably about 10 years ago, maybe 12 years ago. I decided I wanted to watch the series from the beginning because I knew it had gotten to the point where it was big, it was getting interesting, but I couldn't watch it unless I watched it from the beginning, and I did. It has taken me something like 10 years, but I have watched about 1,004 episodes now, and I'm almost caught up to current. Of course, I don't want to do that because I like to binge stuff, and I would feel very sad if I couldn't watch multiple episodes at the same time. But still, about 10 years ago, 10, 12 years ago, I got into it, and guys, it's just an incredible series. Here, I'll do one for one. What do you think is awesome about it?
What I think is awesome about it, what makes it crazy, is the devil fruit fights. The devil fruit fights, the devil fruit system is like their power system. Like each devil fruit gives them a certain power.
So yeah, they do have like powers in this show. Sometimes very, very kooky powers.
Very insane
and,
powers.
In order to get these powers, you have to have eaten an item called the devil fruit. And this devil fruit gives different powers depending on which fruit you eat. And
the buggy
in fact, I actually have something specific. What you're looking at if you're watching this on YouTube, and not the podcast version of it, is this is okay.
Give it a breakdown. What it looks like.
So we can't technically pull video footage because there's a problem right now with YouTubers and Toei Animation. Toei Animation is shutting down YouTubers who, even if it's for fair use.
The One Piece YouTubers know what we're talking about.
Yeah, the One Piece YouTubers know what we're talking about because they're using it legally. Like, fair use is a doctrine that applies here in the United States.
One of them had 150 channels deleted that I saw today.
Or 150 episodes?
150 episodes from
Actually,
his channel
to be honest,
deleted
150
forever.
channels is probably also. So we don't agree with this. There's some,
no.
If I recall, there's some court stuff and there's some other stuff going on right now to kind of work with this. I think what they came to is that they said you can show some of this stuff, but it can only be shown in YouTube in America and not in Japan, and it seems like Toei Animation, the one they have the rights to One Piece here in the U.S., right?
I'm sure that they do. Yeah.
Well, they've got an itchy trigger finger when it comes
I know
to
that they sell the dub rights, I guess. I'm not sure. I don't want to say anything out of turn there, but with the dub, I know that companies will buy, different companies have made dubs for this. Like 4Kids made a crap dub of One Piece, and then I think Funimation made a better one. I think Funimation is doing the One Piece dub now.
the One Piece dub.
And it doesn't sound bad. It even has some of the same voice actors.
That actually does sound pretty cool. But I have to say, you know what though? I will say this: I am a subtitles fan. I'm always I am so bought into just watching it in the Japanese language and reading the
Yes.
subtitles and stuff
It's
like that.
always better, everyone, if you're going to get into an anime. It's better to watch it in the native language because you get a lot of the tone and the syntax that they try to, like sometimes they change the sentence structure a lot just to try to get the lips to
Yeah,
fit the
you
dub.
just if you want it,
You know.
if you want it in its original condition, I honestly now some people don't. There are people who like dubbed versions and they work very hard in order to
Oh, you have that's what I was
yeah,
talking
in
about.
fact,
Totally not
actually,
marked. That's what I was
let me
talking
pull
about.
this up right now in a separate browser. I have YouTuber totally not marked win all 150 right appeals
He
against
won
Toei.
it? Whoa.
Yeah,
On
so
January.
basically this guy is like because they were just shutting down everybody who had any video, even if they were using it, using the fair right doctrine here in the U.S., they were still shutting these people down and giving them like copyright strikes and stuff like that because they were like, you can't show that footage. Well, you're allowed to use footage in a certain way called fair use. Like for instance, I'm fair using something right now as we talk, and that this is YouTuber wins all 150 fights, and I can show you this because this is informative and it's well relevant to what I'm talking about. Now, if I stole it and then I posted that stolen episode on YouTube to try and I don't know monetize it and make money, that would suck. But they were going after YouTubers and stuff like that who were using it the right way, and it became this huge fiasco from a company who was just yeah, that Toei Animation got really
They've been on it. It's
so
so bad, guys. I just have one point on that, if I may. One point about Toy Animation. It's so bad. If you go to Toy Animation and you just click FAQ, remember what's the top one we saw?
Yeah. You know
the
what?
Top
I remember
of
that.
The top of the page.
Give me a second. Let me go ahead and pull up Toy Animation because this is actually kind of funny.
In the FAQ, the top of the page, what does it
Yeah.
say? It's asking, why are you
Yeah.
copy striking me? It's like, it's FAQing that. That's the first thing it says when you go to Toy Animation.
Their website seems to be a little bit slow right now, but you know what? That's okay.
It's the top of their FAQ. Do it yourself. DIY.
Looks like they've got something else here going on. They must be advertising. I do really want to pull that that fact page there if I can find it, but I'm not seeing it at the moment. Oh, here we go. Yeah, hold on. We go over to was it about us?
No, it's
Yeah.
FAQ. So remember, it was in an FAQ somewhere.
Yeah, it was. It was like an FAQ inside of this, and yeah, maybe it was under contact. I'm gonna okay. Yeah, here we go. If you go to contact under Toei Animation,
First FAQ.
the first thing they
thing.
list here is what if I post a video on YouTube. Now you can post parts of those videos on YouTube under fair use, and they were just going after anybody who had it, even the people who were doing it legally.
Yeah, any
and
unauthorized
it
use
started-
of their intellectual
so guys,
property.
what you got to know about One Piece is an absolutely incredible series. It is truly unique. 20 years. They have got storytelling down to a science, but at the same time, Toei Animation on the background is making it so hard for people to even talk about that. Like literally, I think they were actually kind of breaking U.S. law at one point by doing that because that was not fair use of them to shut these guys down when they were just talking about the episodes and just using parts and pieces of it. I mean, that's like me showing these images on the screen on the YouTube feed right here, and then they claim, hey, that's got some of our...
look, we drew that. I drew that from scratch. Look at that.
Well, it's not perfect, but I admit. So, guys, those are the two big things you ought to know about One Piece. It is an incredible show. It is absolutely an incredible show, and there's a lot of controversy right now on basically, being able to or not being able to use certain footage, even if you're just talking about it or whatever, which leads into what happened to me is now I'm about 10 episodes behind right now. And by the way, this is to add to the Toei Animation argument.
It's 9.
This
It's
is
only
why they
9.
might be right about it, is because I went on the internet this week and I started seeing the pictures of the main character, and it showed his new form that he must have just gotten in the manga.
Yeah.
And it just,
And everybody that knows I'm caught up, so
I
I
didn't
know.
particularly want to know about that because I'm not caught up on the series, so this was a huge spoiler to me.
And I don't tell him, yeah, because the manga is like a year and a half ahead of the anime at this point.
Yeah, so to Toei's credit, I can understand if they're trying to keep stuff down so like people like me don't get off put by the show. Like if they're really thinking about me, I kind of understand, but in truth, they still should be letting these guys use a little bit of footage here and there when they're discussing it.
Yeah, it's so
stuff
hard
like
not
that.
to spoil anybody
When-
about One Piece. Huh?
Yeah, when they're fair using it, they ought to be able to use it, and I got to suck it up myself that I kind of missed parts of it.
That sucks. So
All right, so anyhow, we got a little off topic. I apologize.
that was
But okay,
no.
so this is our generic, if you're, same thing on YouTube here. If you're watching the YouTube video version of this, you see him kicking somebody. That photo, I don't know. Well, anyway, it's our version of a photo. Watch me switch right off of
Yeah.
it real quick.
That's how it happened. That's my
Anyhow,
that's my
so
breakdown.
Buggy was one of the first characters he actually fought, which was like a devil fruit character fighting a devil fruit character.
Both with weird powers. Yeah, they both have weird, crazy powers. And he's over there. It's what it looks like. He's kicking the other half of the guy in his vulnerable spot because the top half of them is holding one of his crewmates hostage. And it's so like the fight is so weird and insane, and the fights are still so
Yeah,
good.
the fights are so incredibly interesting. Like the imagination that goes into the fights and these guys and what they do and stuff like that is absolutely just incredible. I mean, the fights are just unbelievable sometimes.
Yeah, like there's a guy, like there'll be a guy made out of rubber fighting a guy made out of lightning, and all kinds
Yeah,
of
and
crazy stuff.
interestingly, the guy who was rubber had an advantage of the guy who was lightning because it couldn't affect him. And yeah, you just find this kind of stuff all over the place. Actually, it does. You find it's a little reminiscent of like Pokemon and stuff like that, how they have like abilities and how they work better against other stuff like that. So it's really fascinating. So Eiichiro Oda is the guy who created it. You know about him. I will go ahead and add on and say that there are 14 animated films, like films that were in the theater.
Movie quality good. The animation is gas too.
Exactly,
I know
like-
you've seen the most recent one, One Piece movie 14 Stampede, and it's great, isn't it? Isn't it awesome? Like the animation.
You know what it's like. It's like I think when they're working on new animation styles and they're working on new stuff to do in the show. I think they release these movies that sometimes aren't really canon, but sometimes are canon.
Some of them, like, they're not all canon, but they're like the creator Eiichiro Oda will be involved in the production of these movies. He has been in the last few with them, like Z and One
'cause
Piece
there was
Film
Gold,
Gold,
yep,
and Stampede. The last three, I think you've seen those.
Which, by the way,
Oda's
some
been
of those,
involved in those.
those are like I've seen the newer anime stuff like Stampede and stuff like that was incredible for an anime movie because I have been so disappointed by anime movies and stuff like that. Hold on just a second. Just do a quick switch around for the feed and stuff like that. Okay. There we go. All right. So they've been doing more and more of these anime movies and stuff like that, and we're finding that they're actually getting really good, and they're actually starting to integrate them in with the TV show and stuff like that. Whereas, what was it, about 5 to 8 years ago, you'd watch an anime movie, it had nothing to do with the show, maybe very vaguely or some small part. It almost kind of felt like a different studio was doing the movie instead of who was doing the TV series. It was just ridiculous. But even the movies on the One Piece series here and there
The
have
movies
been,
have been connected. They have been connected. I can confirm that. even with the very last
Yeah.
movie, Stampede, there was a name reveal of something that they weren't saying right. But I don't want to I'm not going to spoil it. But I know that. See, I know that he knows it if I bring it up and tell him. But it's a spoiler, so we don't want to go there. I just say, you really should watch this, guys.
Yeah, it's a good show. I highly, highly recommend it too. I think we'll go ahead and we'll tackle a couple of other small things that I wanted to add on this. Right off the top is the manga sold 500 million copies worldwide.
Almost 500. It's 490.
Subtitling. I will only watch subtitling in its most pure form because subtitling is just awesome watching it in the original Japanese with the original Japanese voices and stuff like that. Now that may not be for everyone, but I personally, I love the subtitles and I love listening to it in its original form.
Yeah, same here because with I watch subtitles so much, it's weird watching shows without them.
Also, I haven't looked at the statistics yet. I don't know. I'm pretty sure of the one list that I do track on this, the one list I do track has One Piece on the top of the list. So I'm pretty sure it is the #1 anime out there right now. At least in the one place that I tend to. By the way,
I know it's the #1 manga.
Crunchyroll's got One Piece right on the top.
Oh, it does.
Because they've got this section. Crunchyroll, by the way, is the place where you can pay for streaming and pay to stream and watch the episodes. I highly recommend it too. It's pretty cool. They got an app and everything. But anyway, they give you this list of animes from most popular to least popular, and One Piece is right there at the top. I mean, you get you get other anime shows like you get what's that one with the Titans?
That's Attack on Titan.
There we go, Attack on Titan. There are some other episodes up there, but it is usually like every time I've gone there, it's just like at the top of the list. So I think this right now is the biggest, the best, the #1 anime series, and that's also, I mean, that's why it's this way for a lot of people. It's just we all love it, and
the animation has gotten better, especially for Wano, hasn't it? You can say just for catching up from the whole thing, can't you, Zach, that the animation has gotten way better.
Yeah, you are absolutely.
For the arc it's on right now, the longest arc in One Piece has had the best animation.
Yeah, in fact,
absolutely.
I'm gonna off topic the video stuff real quick, but I want to continue on with the conversation of the rest of this. One Piece, incredibly brilliant series. I love the series. It's a shame that Toei Animation is causing so much trouble for people to be able to talk about it, and maybe it is. So what do you think? If Toei Animation is trying to keep spoilers from getting out to protect people like me who aren't caught up on the series, does that make it okay?
I don't think they're worried about spoilers. That's the thing, is I think that they're trying to they just want to make as much money off they can off of, even if it's just a picture, whatever they're showing. They want to make it, like if it's a clip or something that's too long or whatever they're getting copyright strikes for, that they're just doing it because they want to be the one making the money off the clips. Period. That's it. They only care about the money. They don't care about you getting spoiled or not. I promise you they don't.
You think it's the money.
I promise you they
not
don't.
Necessarily that they're trying to do it
absolutely
to help out the, and maybe they're not technically the studio that's making it, and they're not Eiichiro Oda, or what'd you say his name is?
Eiichiro Oda, you said it correctly.
Eiichiro Oda. Anyhow, I know he's not that, so it might just be a rogue company going out, or maybe they are. Maybe they're trying to protect people from getting the spoilers and other stuff. But I think they've gone too far, for sure, and that's something they just need to work out and kind of do. By the way, guys, we actually got to cut this right now. We are out of time.
Oh, this was a lot of fun.
But in fact, I didn't even realize it. I was reaching over there and checking the time. Guys, that is pretty much it for the day. If there was one thing you could say, Cord, that would convince somebody to go and watch this, what would it be?
It's the greatest story in all fiction.
It's the greatest story in all fiction. I have to. It is. It's
the greatest story.
It is 20 years. It is. It's the greatest. No, well, the second greatest story ever told.
Yes. There we go.
There we go. The greatest second story ever told. Guys, I think that we're going to go ahead and cut it there. That's our podcast. We want you to go watch One Piece because it really is a 20-year-old series that is so incredible.
25 years.
The guy who's making it is just a genius.
He's still fresh. He still
Guys,
keeps
One
it
Piece,
fresh.
One Piece. You'll if you see this, it's incredible. Go watch
He
it.
still Oda still drops bombs. Still drops bombs.
I hope the guy lives forever. I
Me
really
too.
do. Guys, let me go ahead and let me throw a little bit of an ending sequence to the video here. And that will pretty much do it. I wish you all a great rest of the week, Cord.
All right, yeah, you as well, Zach.
All right, see you later, guys.